desespera es que haya otra igual. Quizás un día muy suave un ángel la llevará volando alto en el aire y el enano volverá.
Well, what needs to happen is a complete immigration reform, not only for unskilled labor but also for skilled labor. This country needs immigrants. This country is based on immigrants, and so a better understanding and a more clearer way of coming to the country. For example, recently in the news, it showed that in one day, all 85,000 H-1B visas, which are for skilled labor, were applied for. There were 150,000 applications for 85,000 visas. So obviously there is a need because those applications don't come from individuals. They come from companies that are sponsoring those individuals and that need those individuals to come and work. And for unskilled labor, which are people that come to work in the fields or to work in the service industry or to work in restaurants or many of the other jobs that we see immigrants doing when they have initially come into this country. There are only, I believe the number is 600,000, I am not sure, but there are 12 million illegal immigrants in this country. And when you have 12 million people, it tells you that there's a demand for that labor, but there is no clear way for them to come in a legal way. So the United States needs to do a complete overhaul of its immigration policy so that it is safe for this country, because every country has the right to protect its borders, but you also need to maintain your economy, and the unskilled and skilled immigrant labor force is a very strong component of that economy.
Well, I think we need a reform that will help many of the people that are illegally here, that have been here for years, and they have a work and they have a house and their kids go to school. You know, people that have already made their lives in the U.S. to help them to be legal. You know, and it has to happen. I mean, nationwide. And not only that, but they have to help people that are just residents. You know, to become citizens, because many just keep renewing their residency without being citizens. And there are towns in Texas that they cannot vote. So somebody else decides for them. Like 90% of the people don't vote in a town because they're residents, you know. And I think also NAFTA need to be changed. And I mean, we have been with NAFTA for a long time between Mexico and U.S. and it's killing the economy in Mexico, you know. And we need to have a fair trade instead of a free trade.
Well, from a Latina perspective, I want to see justice. I want to see the acknowledgement and the recognition of undocumented new immigrants, and that's across, you know, the board, not just the Latinos, but the Africans across the board. I also believe that we need to have a say in that whole process, in that lawmaking process, and so it needs to be that kind of a roundtable discussion.
Or at least become acquainted with that group of people, and that made us get to the point where we understood the issues that affected that community. And when you understand the issues that affect that community, it's a very strong catalyst for change, because then it's not them, but it's my friend, or it's my acquaintance, or my butcher, or something. And so I think that all communities should be welcoming of immigrants, and by welcoming an immigrant, you also help them assimilate faster into the culture instead of having them, you know, isolate themselves within their own little group.
I think definitely they need to have a welcoming type of thing. I mean, I know they had the Iowa Newcomers Center and all of that, but I think the whole population have to be acknowledged of people that are new in the community and to be welcoming, you know, and to help them of giving directions away, you know, like where the schools are, where the banks are, you know, help them in establishing in the town because they're helping in the community to grow too and be economically strong too.
Pretty much what you see here now. I think that 2 years ago, I got really upset at what was going on in terms of the whole, like the people who, the policy that was, you know, trying to pass at that point to criminalize undocumented and pretty much to target specifically the Mexicans. And so I was like, we need to do something, we need to, you know, do something. And I found myself with, I'm just only me, at least I could write a letter to the senator. And then I told a friend, and that friend told another friend, and so we all started to write all these letters. It didn't really feel like anything was, you know, getting done, but we got a little bit accomplished. And then 2 years now, you know, later, it was like, wow, we went from just only including only the Latinos to being inclusive of all groups. And I think that's an example in a small scale of what our country really needs to do, is really be all-inclusive and have the diversity of ideas. And with the people of color, kind of like to hear the voices of oppression and to know the differences in terms of the race with power and privilege.
I think it's wonderful. There are so many student, state, regional, local organizations, community members that are here that are showing their support. I'm a little disappointed that the University of Iowa College of Republicans didn't accept our invitation. We would love to hear their position in any forum that is constructive, positive, and educational. And we are willing to listen to them at any time under those guidelines of it being an educational forum.
I think it's great. I feel really overwhelmed with all this with everything that happened. I mean, it happened in 2 days, and everybody is so eager to help and to tell immigrants, no, I mean, you're not a problem. We're here to help you. And I think it's great for all the immigrants of our community, you know, to see in the newspaper this happened and these people got together and they're concerned for you and what you think. And we don't want to think that this is not a welcoming community, you know. I mean, it's very, very important message for any immigrant in Iowa City.
If you talk to some of these students that are here individually, you kind of hear the same story. And the story is like, you know, it's about time that we all got together. You know, this is not just one group, you know, issue. It's about, you know, the rights, issue. It's about the group. It's about as a whole, not just in pieces. So you find, I think, that the general idea is that we are bigger than just ourselves, sort of a part of a whole. So it feels more, you know, together.
The only thing I want to see is, I want to see this togetherness grow, and I don't want it to have to be in reaction to something that some other people did that's stupid. I think we should be supporting each other in all things, all the time. And I know personally, for BSU and for the Latin American students, they're trying to tear down both cultural houses. So the more unity we have, and even with donations and various things, there's more power in unity than there is separate. So I just want to see us continue to nurture this, but not just at times when there's a problem and we want to attack, you know, just all the time.
During this episode here in Iowa City, I got a hold of the governor in his office. We're going to start some dialogue. We're going to bring 8 people from 8 different organizations and groups throughout the state of Iowa and have a little summit with his staff. And number one issue is that during his campaign, we got to hold him to it, that he said he's going to get rid of English only. I told him, no, we're not going to get rid of English only and just make everybody mad. We're going to call it English Plus. Where people learn English, at least keep their culture and authenticity and their family values in their language.
Thank all of the student organizations. I was delighted to see the response from everybody and from the community and from other organizations like the Iowa Civil Rights Commission. It was great to see that we all have this one goal, and that is the respect of human rights in whatever issue comes. And I invite everyone to continue working together, but also I think that we really do need a forum or a conference or something where all opinions are heard, including the GOP's position, because the way to grow is to educate yourself on all positions and all ideas. And maybe this situation, not the symptom, which is illegal immigration, but the cause, which is the disparity and inequality in the lives of people that need and feel the desperation that they need to immigrate illegally, can be solved. And I don't think either party or one people is going to come up with the solution. I think it's going to have to be a combination of ideas, and if we can learn to work together, then maybe that solution can come a lot faster.